If you've ever wondered how to tell when a woman is truly yours, not through words, but through the way she shows up, gives effort, and trusts you with her heart, this is your answer. When she feels safe, seen, and emotionally connected, you don't need to chase her. You already have her. If this message opened your eyes or gave you a new way to understand connection, hit that like button and subscribe to Reset Psychology, where we break down the truth about emotions, attraction, and human behavior. Because once you understand the psychology behind love, everything changes. Emotional investment is the moment everything changes between two people. It's when attraction evolves into connection. When a woman doesn't just like you, she starts to care about you. This goes far beyond flirting, compliments, or chemistry. It's when she begins to emotionally attach herself to your presence, your peace, and your growth. At that stage, her heart is involved. She's not just curious about who you are. She's beginning to feel something when you're not around. You become a thought in her quiet moments, a person she checks on not because she has to, but because she wants to. That's emotional investment. And when that happens, you already have her in a way that's deeper than attraction. Most men chase the wrong signs. They think attention means interest. They think affection means love. But attention can fade, affection can be temporary, and attraction can shift. What doesn't fade easily is emotional involvement. That's when she begins to tie her emotions to your actions. When you're happy, she feels happy. When you're distant, she feels unsettled. When you're struggling, she wants to support you. This connection doesn't form overnight. It's built slowly through consistency, honesty, and emotional safety. When she feels seen, when she feels that her heart is safe in your presence, she begins to invest, not with money or material things, but with her energy. You can recognize this shift through subtle things. She starts to pay attention to what you say, not just to reply, but to understand. She remembers the little details, the things you didn't think mattered, because to her they do matter. She starts aligning her life in small ways around your presence. She might check in on you, ask about your day, or show up when you least expect it. None of this is random. It's her way of showing that your happiness and your peace have become important to her. That's when emotional investment takes root, when she goes from simply liking you to genuinely caring about how you feel. This kind of connection doesn't come from manipulation or games. It grows from emotional safety. When you listen without judgment, when you show up consistently, when you're honest even about your flaws, she begins to trust you. And that trust turns into emotional attachment. The more safe she feels, the deeper she connects. That's why emotional investment is powerful, because once it's there, it can't be forced or faked. It's a bond that comes from authenticity, not performance. A woman's emotional investment is sacred because she doesn't give it easily. She protects her emotions, especially if she's been hurt before. So if she starts investing in you emotionally, that means she sees something real in you, something stable, something different. That's the moment you stop needing to impress her. You already have her. What you need to do now is honor that trust. Because when a woman gives you her emotional energy, she's giving you the most valuable part of herself, her heart. And if you treat it with respect, that connection can become unbreakable. A woman's words can be charming, but her actions will always reveal the truth about how she feels. When she's genuinely into you, she doesn't always express it directly. Instead, it shows up in the way she behaves, in the effort she puts forth, and in the energy she brings into your life. You can feel it in the small details, the way she listens when you speak, the way she remembers things you've said weeks ago, or how she notices when something is off with you even before you say a word. These subtle actions are her emotional language, and they speak far louder than any verbal confession ever could. In the early stages, words come easily. People say what they think the other person wants to hear, but actions require sincerity. They come from a place of genuine care. When she starts showing up, not because she's expected to, but because she wants to, that's a reflection of real feeling. When she chooses to spend her time with you, supports your dreams, checks in when you're quiet, or encourages you when life gets heavy, she's showing that you mean something to her. Her consistency is proof of emotional depth. She's not doing these things for attention or validation. She's doing them because she values the connection she feels with you. Many men miss these signs because they're too focused on surface-level attraction. They look for big gestures or romantic words. But real affection often hides in the quiet moments. When she asks if you've eaten, when she sends a text just to make sure you're okay, when she listens to your frustrations without judgment, those are the signs that her heart is involved. A woman who doesn't care will never invest her energy into the details of your life. But a woman who's emotionally connected will notice, remember, and nurture those details because they matter to her as much as they matter to you. It's also important to understand that her actions are a reflection of her comfort with you. When she starts opening up emotionally, showing you her real personality, and allowing you to see her vulnerable side, she's revealing trust. That's something she doesn't do for everyone. It's her unspoken way of saying, I feel safe with you. And that safety creates an emotional bond stronger than any words could build. So if you ever find yourself wondering where you stand with her, stop analyzing what she says and start watching what she does. Words can be rehearsed, but effort can't be faked. Her time, attention, and care are the real indicators of her emotions. When she starts aligning her behavior with your well-being, when she shows up even without being asked, when her presence brings peace into your chaos, that's how you know. Her actions are already telling you the truth. You don't need to question her interest because she's showing you in every way that matters that she's already yours. When a woman starts to mirror your energy and emotions, it's one of the clearest signs that her heart is deeply connected to yours. This kind of reflection doesn't happen consciously. It's a subconscious response that happens when emotional alignment develops. She begins to feel what you feel, almost as if your moods are linked. When you're happy, she becomes lighter, more expressive, and full of energy. When you're down or withdrawn, she senses it instantly and feels it too. That's not just empathy. That's emotional resonance. It means she's emotionally tuned in to you, and her energy naturally adjusts to match yours. This is why emotional stability in a man is so powerful. When you carry calmness, purpose, and confidence, she feels that energy. It makes her feel safe and balanced. But when you're anxious, angry, or lost, she doesn't just see it, she feels it in her body and emotions. A woman who mirrors you is emotionally connected enough to experience your inner world without needing words. It's a beautiful thing, but it also carries responsibility, because the way you handle your emotions will shape the way she feels around you. Mirroring isn't manipulation. It's a natural emotional bond that forms when she trusts you. Think about it. We only mirror people we feel close to. We unconsciously pick up their gestures, tone, and rhythm because our brain starts syncing with theirs. When a woman begins doing this with you, using similar phrases, matching your energy, even sharing your emotional pace, it's her body's way of saying, I feel connected to you. It's a sign that her emotional walls are down. She's not pretending or playing hard to get. She's blending her emotional rhythm with yours. But here's the deeper part. Emotional mirroring also reveals vulnerability. When she starts reflecting your energy, she's allowing herself to be emotionally influenced by you. That means your mood, your actions, and your attitude directly affect her state of mind. If you're grounded, she feels secure. If you're distant, she feels uncertain. This is why emotionally aware men stand out. They understand that their presence sets the tone for the relationship. They know that by managing their own emotions with strength and calm, they create a space where she feels safe enough to open up even more. When you reach this level of connection, communication becomes effortless. You don't have to explain how you feel because she already senses it. She can read the silence in your voice, the look in your eyes, the shift in your body language. That's emotional intimacy at its core, being understood without words. So if you notice her reflecting your emotions, take it as the sign it is. She's not just attracted to you, she's emotionally aligned with you. And when that happens, you already have her heart because she's no longer just reacting to you. She's feeling with you. Effort is a woman's most honest love language. It's how she shows she cares, even when she doesn't say it directly. When a woman truly values you, she starts investing her time, attention, and energy into your life. She remembers the little things that matter to you. She supports your goals and she makes space for you in her world. Her consistency becomes her way of saying, "You matter to me." And the truth is, that kind of effort is rare because a woman doesn't give her energy to someone she doesn't respect or trust. When she chooses to show up for you, it's because you've earned a place in her emotions. Effort doesn't always look dramatic or romantic. It often hides in small, quiet gestures. It's when she checks in to see if you got home safe, when she sends you something that reminded her of you, when she listens carefully even after a long day. It's when she remembers your favorite food or your biggest dream and brings it up when you least expect it. Those simple moments are her way of saying, "I see you. I care." When a woman puts effort into understanding you, supporting you, or even making you laugh after a hard day, she's showing love through presence, not performance. But her effort also reflects how she feels about herself in your presence. If you make her feel appreciated and emotionally safe, her effort will grow naturally. She'll want to nurture the bond because it feels good to her too. A woman's heart responds to consistency and emotional stability. When she senses that you value her, she gives even more. But when her efforts go unnoticed, she slowly begins to withdraw, not out of anger, but out of protection. A woman will never keep pouring into a place that doesn't pour back into her. Men often underestimate the meaning behind a woman's effort. They think she's just being nice, but they fail to realize that a woman's emotional energy is precious. She guards it carefully. When she gives you her time, her patience, and her focus, that's something she doesn't do for just anyone. It's a sign of genuine interest and emotional investment. The biggest mistake you can make is to take that effort for granted, to assume it'll always be there. Because when a woman feels unseen or unappreciated, her silence will replace her effort. And once that happens, it's almost impossible to get it back. So if she's trying, if she's showing up in small but meaningful ways, appreciate it. Match it. Let her know that her energy doesn't go unnoticed. Because effort is how love breathes. It's how connection grows. And when she's putting in effort without asking for anything in return, that's when you know she's not just interested, she's already emotionally yours. Appreciation is the oxygen that keeps emotional connection alive. When a woman gives her time, energy, and loyalty, she's not just doing it for recognition, she's doing it because she cares. But the truth is, even the strongest woman needs to feel seen and valued for what she brings into your life. When a man acknowledges her effort, when he genuinely appreciates her presence, it reinforces her emotional security. It tells her, "I notice you. I value what you do. You matter here." That simple sense of being appreciated fuels her desire to keep giving, to keep loving, to keep showing up. But when her effort is overlooked or taken for granted, something inside her begins to fade. She doesn't stop caring instantly. She just starts pulling back quietly, piece by piece. A woman rarely leaves because of one big argument or mistake. She leaves because her small efforts were ignored too many times. When she constantly gives love but receives indifference, she begins to question her place in your life. She starts wondering if her presence makes a difference. And once that doubt creeps in, her heart begins to protect itself. She becomes distant, less expressive, less available. Not because she stopped loving you, but because she stopped feeling valued. That's why appreciation isn't optional. It's essential. It's not about flattery or constant praise. It's about acknowledgement. A simple thank you, a look of gratitude, a moment of recognition can mean more than grand gestures ever could. Most men underestimate how powerful their appreciation can be. They think women need material things, when in reality, most just want to feel emotionally safe and seen. When you take the time to appreciate her for listening when you vent, for supporting your dreams, or for being consistent when life gets heavy, you're giving her the emotional nourishment she needs to keep her heart open. Appreciation turns ordinary moments into trust. It tells her that her energy isn't being wasted, that her effort is noticed. That's what keeps her emotionally attached and deeply connected. On the other hand, neglect slowly destroys connection. When a woman feels invisible, when her effort is expected instead of appreciated, she won't fight for attention. She'll simply withdraw. And when she starts withdrawing emotionally, it's almost impossible to pull her back to the same level of connection she once offered. That's why emotional maturity means learning to notice the small things. Notice when she tries. Notice when she gives without asking. Notice when she's there, even when it's inconvenient for her. Those moments deserve your recognition. When you express gratitude, you create emotional safety. You make her feel secure in her effort. And in return, she gives even more, not because she has to, but because she wants to. That's the beauty of appreciation. It multiplies love. So if you truly value her, don't stay silent. Let her know through your words, your actions, and your consistency that her effort means everything. Because when a woman feels appreciated, she doesn't just stay. She gives you her whole heart. Every woman longs to feel emotionally safe with the man she chooses. It's not about money, status, or appearance. It's about how you make her feel when she's around you. When she senses that she can be her authentic self without fear of being judged, mocked, or rejected, that's when her guard comes down. That's when she starts to truly open her heart. Emotional safety is the foundation of every lasting connection. It's what transforms attraction into attachment and interest into trust. When a woman feels secure in your presence, she doesn't have to overthink every word or action. She can just be. And in that peace, love begins to grow effortlessly. Women fall for men who give them a sense of certainty. Not the kind that comes from constant promises or sweet words, but from consistency and emotional steadiness. A man who says what he means, does what he says, and stays grounded even when life gets chaotic. That's the kind of man who earns trust without having to demand it. When she feels emotionally certain about you, she relaxes into the connection. She stops testing, stops doubting, stops holding back. That's the moment you truly have her because she's no longer protecting herself from being hurt. She's allowing herself to love freely. This kind of safety isn't built overnight. It's built in moments. When you listen instead of judge. When you stay calm during conflict. When you show empathy instead of anger. It's built when you respect her emotions, even the ones you don't fully understand. When you hold space for her feelings instead of shutting them down, she learns that she can trust you with her heart. That's when she starts to share the parts of herself that no one else gets to see. Her fears, her insecurities, her dreams. Those moments of vulnerability are sacred because they mean she feels protected enough to be real. Emotional safety doesn't mean being perfect or always knowing the right thing to say. It means being reliable, someone who doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable. A woman can sense when a man's presence is stable, and she can also sense when it's conditional. When she knows you won't punish her for being emotional or dismiss her for being honest, she feels secure. That's when love deepens. Because love without safety is temporary, but love with safety becomes permanent. When she feels emotionally safe, she brings her best self into the relationship, her warmth, her femininity, her affection, and her loyalty. She starts giving without fear, trusting that her heart is in good hands. And once a woman reaches that level of comfort with you, you don't need to do anything extraordinary to keep her. Just remain the man who gives her peace. Because peace is what she craves the most. If she feels that with you, you already have her, completely and forever.